So you might not believe me after my Spider-Woman video the other day, but I really love superheroes. I'm a huge fan of Marvel and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and lately I've been getting into DC with Arrow and The Flash. I love these characters, I love their stories, and because the movies and TV shows are done so well, I really love the actors. Yesterday there was a post on Tumblr that said Jeremy Renner and Chris Evans, who play Hawkeye and Captain America in the Avengers films, called the character Black Widow a slut. Now my first reaction was that this had to be a rumor, but there was a video, and I'll link to it in the description. At the beginning of the video, the interviewer asks Jeremy Renner and Chris Evans how they feel about fans shipping their characters with Black Widow. Jeremy Renner answers, "She's a slut." Chris Evans begins to laugh and agrees by saying, "I was going to say something along that line, a complete whore." This was really heartbreaking and extremely disappointing for me to hear. Now I know this doesn't make them bad people. This is just one of those instances that I'm reminded that they are not their characters, they're not superheroes, they're not perfect celebrities, they're human, and humans make mistakes. And they have made a mistake. Now it would be easy for me to sit here and hate on them and bash them, but that's not how progress is made. They need to be educated on slut-shaming and the effects that it has. This is a very confusing situation for me because in the past, the cast has deflected the sexist questions that are aimed at Scarlett Johansson, the actress who plays Black Widow. And they have seen her deflect sexist questions. So I don't understand why they would answer that question in that way. Is it because they were asking about the character, or because Scarlett Johansson wasn't there? And honestly, it makes me wonder how the rest of the cast feels. How would they have responded to this question? Most importantly, how does Scarlett Johansson feel about this? Does she even know about this interview? Because something tells me she would not be okay with this. Now, Natasha and Clint Barton's relationship was never confirmed in the movies. It was just hinted at. Natasha and Steve Rogers never even dated. In fact, she spends all of Winter Soldier trying to set him up with other women. But none of this stopped fans from pairing up these characters. Based on the trailers for Age of Ultron, it seems that Natasha and Bruce Banner have started up some sort of romance. Now, even if Natasha and Clint had dated and broken up, was she supposed to stay in love with him forever? Was she supposed to stay single? Relationships end and feelings change. You are not a slut or a whore if you want to move on. Now, as of today, Chris Evans and Jeremy Renner have both issued statements regarding their comments. Chris Evans apologized by saying, "We answered in a very juvenile and offensive way that rightfully angered some fans. I regret it and sincerely apologize." The hurt that I feel over the comments that he made in this interview won't go away anytime soon, but I think and I hope that his apology will help me move on and forgive and forget eventually. Jeremy Renner, on the other hand, added insult to injury. "I am sorry that this tasteless joke about a fictional character offended anyone. It was not meant to be serious in any way, just poking fun during an exhausting and tedious press tour." In other words, it was just a joke, she's not real, you're taking this way too seriously, also, I hate my job. Now, as Jeremy Renner intelligently pointed out, I know we're talking about fictional characters, but this way of thinking doesn't begin and end with fiction. Slut-shaming is a real thing. With one joke, he has insulted his female fans, and validated a select group of people who think it's perfectly acceptable to use this kind of language. See, even Hawkeye thinks she's a slut. So you might not believe me after my Spider-Woman video the other day. See, even Hawkeye thinks she's a slut. She's a slut. It's like a weird phrase that I don't say. I feel like it sounds weird coming from me.